The last bell at Blackwood High School didn't just ring. It exploded through the hallways, bouncing off lockers and tiled floors as if it had been waiting all day to be set free. Classroom doors flew open. Sneakers squeaked. Someone hooped loud enough to earn a warning from a tired teacher who had already given up on pretending Friday afternoons could be controlled. Maya slipped her phone out of her hoodie pocket before she even stood up. 3 new notifications blinked in the group chat. Tonight, don't chicken out, and a skull emoji from Luis. She rolled her eyes, but a grin tugged at her mouth. Behind her, Owen slung his backpack over one shoulder. "You're smiling like someone about to make a bad decision," he said. "Maybe I am," Maya replied. Jenna joined them at the door, hugging her history book to her chest. "We're really doing this?" she asked. "My cousin said weird stuff happened after they tried." Luis appeared out of nowhere, dramatic as always. "Weird stuff makes memories," he announced. "Also, you promised." They moved into the river of students flowing down the corridor. Lockers slammed shut like punctuation marks. Bits of conversation drifted past, practice schedules, math tests, weekend jobs. But around the 4 of them, another kind of energy hummed. Anticipation. Nerves disguised as jokes. "It's just pencils," Owen said. "Gravity and imagination." "Then you won't be scared," Luis shot back. "I didn't say that." Maya slowed near the exit doors, sunlight spilling across the floor ahead of them. For a moment she imagined her bedroom later. Lights low, paper ready, everyone pretending to be brave. A simple game. A stupid internet challenge. Still, she felt the tiniest twist in her stomach, like a warning she didn't quite understand. "Tonight," she said, more to herself than to the others. Luis pumped a fist. Jenna exhaled shakily. Owen gave a half-smile that failed to hide his doubt. They pushed through the doors and into the afternoon, laughter following them, none of them noticing how easy it is to invite something in long before you ever say its name. Maya's bedroom felt smaller than it ever had before. The posters on the walls seemed to lean inward, the corners filled with deeper shadows than usual, as if the night itself had slipped inside and decided to stay. For phones lay on the desk, their screens dark now, their earlier bravado replaced by a quiet agreement that filming this might somehow make it worse. On the floor between them rested a sheet of paper divided into 4 squares.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
2 pencils balanced at the center, one laid flat, the other resting lightly across it like a needle waiting to choose a direction. Luis rubbed his palms on his jeans. "Okay," he said, trying to sound like a game show host. "Ground rules. Nobody blows. Nobody bumps the floor. Fair. Fair." Owen replied, though he shifted his weight back against the bed, putting distance between himself and the setup. Jenna tucked her legs beneath her. "We can still quit," she murmured. Maya shook her head, even as her pulse drummed in her ears. "We came this far." They joined hands, forming a crooked circle around the paper. For a few seconds, they only listened to the hum of the house, the faint rush of a car outside, the nervous rhythm of their own breathing. The air felt heavy, thick like the moment before a thunderstorm cracks open the sky. "Together," Luis whispered. Their voices overlapped, uneven but united. Charlie, are you here?" "Nothing." Owen gave a quick, relieved laugh.
"See?
Physics." Maya almost smiled. Then the top pencil twitched. It was small, barely anything at all, the kind of movement you could explain away if you wanted to. But they were already staring, already waiting, and so the tiny motion became enormous. The pencil began to turn. Not fast. Not dramatic. It scraped softly across the paper, wood against graphite, the sound loud in the silent room. Jenna's fingers tightened around Maya's hand. Louise stopped breathing altogether. The pencil settled.
Yes.
Nope, Owen said immediately, too quickly.
Air.
Someone moved. The fan, Maya whispered. She leaned over, never breaking her grip on Jenna, and clicked it off. The blade slowed, then stopped. The room grew warmer, quieter. Whatever excuse, they had floated away with the breeze. Louis swallowed, his earlier grin gone. Ask another, he said, because not asking felt worse. Maya nodded, staring at the unmoving pencil. Charlie, she said, her voice thinner now. Are you good? For a heartbeat, the world held still. Then the pencil began to move again. No one spoke while the pencil traveled. It dragged itself across the paper with slow certainty, like it had all the time in the world and knew they didn't. Maya felt each inch of movement in her chest, a tight pull that made it hard to breathe. The tip settled.
No.
Jenna made a small sound, almost a whimper, and covered her mouth with her free hand. We should stop, she said through her fingers. We asked. We got an answer. Luis tried to recover the mood, but his laugh broke in the middle. Okay, so he's not good. Maybe he's grumpy. Ghosts can be grumpy. Owen didn't smile. His eyes never left the pencils. Or maybe we're messing with something we don't understand. Maya wanted to agree. She wanted to sweep the pencils away, crumple the paper, and turn every light in the house on. But the fact that it had answered pulled at her, stronger than fear. If something was there, if something had listened, how could she not ask more? Charlie, Owen said suddenly, his voice steadier than the rest of them felt. Do you know us? The reaction was instant. The pencil jerked, spun halfway around, and landed on yes with a sharp tap. Louise whispered, Okay, I officially hate that. Maya's mouth had gone dry. Everyone knows us, she said, forcing logic into the space between heartbeats. We said our names earlier. It's guessing. But even she didn't believe it. Luis leaned closer despite himself. Charlie, who are you closest to? Jenna shook her head. Don't make it personal. Too late. The pencil began to rotate again, slower now, teasing them with every degree of motion. Maya felt her pulse in her throat. Please not me, she thought, ashamed of the hope that it might be someone else. It stopped, pointed straight at her. The room tilted. That doesn't mean anything, she said quickly. It's random. Her phone buzzed in her back pocket. All four of them flinched. I didn't touch it, Louise said. Maya pulled it out with trembling fingers. A message glowed on the screen from a number she didn't recognize. I'm right behind you. Cold rushed through her. Very slowly, she turned her head toward the dark stretch of room beyond her shoulder. The closet door was open. The closet yawned like a mouth. Shirts hung in a crooked row, sleeves brushing together though there was no breeze, and the darkness behind them looked deeper than the small space should have allowed. Maya couldn't remember leaving it open. She was sure she would have remembered that. I hate this, Louise whispered. The words barely sound at all. Close it, Owen said, but he didn't move to help.
None of them did.
The circle held, hands locked, as if letting go might make something rush in to fill the gaps between them. Jenna's voice trembled. We didn't end it. My cousin said you have to say goodbye. Maya dragged her eyes away from the closet and back to the paper. The pencil lay quiet now, innocent, as if it had never moved. As if it had not chosen her. Her phone buzzed again. She dropped it onto the carpet like it had burned her. I don't want to read that, she said. Don't, Owen replied immediately. But the presence in the room, the feeling of being watched, weighed, noticed, pressed closer. It was in the air, in the back of her neck, in the spaces behind her eyes. What do you want? Maya whispered, and then louder, because somehow she knew it needed to be asked properly. Charlie, what do you want?" For a moment, nothing happened. Luis exhaled shakily, almost relieved. Then the top pencil rattled, vibrating in place. Not turning, not choosing, shaking. The sound was dry and frantic, wood clicking against wood. "Is it mad?" Jenna asked. "It's here," Owen said, and understanding slid into his voice like ice into water. "We called and it came. That's the whole game. It's about being invited." Maya's fear sharpened into something else. Resolve. If invitation mattered, then dismissal had to matter too. "We send it back," she said. They tightened their grip until it hurt. Together, stumbling over one another, they spoke. Charlie, we are done. You have to leave."
Goodbye."
The pencil tipped, rolled off the crossing one, and hit the floor. The vibration stopped. The air felt empty, but not entirely. Morning came, pale and ordinary, pushing through Maya's curtains as if the night had never happened. Birds argued in the tree outside her window. A car door slammed somewhere down the street. The world moved forward, unaware that 4 kids had spent hours staring into the dark and waiting for it to stare back. None of them had screamed after the pencil fell. None of them had run. They had simply sat there, hands still clasped, listening to the sudden absence of movement. Eventually, Owen had let go first. Luis had turned on every light. Jenna had shut the closet door, without looking inside. They stayed up until dawn anyway. Now, in the hallway at school, the memory clung to them like smoke. Students swarmed past, loud and alive, trading gossip and weekend disasters. It felt impossible that life could be this normal. Luis started telling the story before they even reached their lockers. "So the pencil spins, right? And then Maya gets this text." Maya touched his arm. Not hard, just enough.
"Don't," she said. He stopped.
The grin he'd prepared faltered. "But they're going to try it anyway." "I know," she replied. Jenna shifted her backpack higher on her shoulder. She looked tired, older somehow. "It's not funny when it answers," she murmured. Owen nodded toward a group of freshmen gathered on the floor near the vending machines. A piece of notebook paper lay between them. 2 pens instead of pencils, but the idea was the same. One of the kids giggled nervously, already half regretting it, already unable to resist. "Hey," Owen called, surprising himself. They looked up. "It's just a game," one of them said quickly, defensive. Maya met his eyes. She remembered the thrill, the disbelief, the electric pull of wanting proof that something was out there. She understood exactly why they were going to do it.
"That's what we thought," she said.
"What happened?" another kid asked. Luis opened his mouth. Jenna shook her head. Owen answered instead. "You're not just asking a question," he said. "You're opening a door." The freshmen hesitated, uncertainty flickering across their faces. Maybe they would stop. Maybe they wouldn't. Maya hoped they would, because as she turned away, she could have sworn she heard the faintest scrape behind her, like wood turning on paper, patient and waiting for someone new to say its name.